So the FTC has hired a prominent critic of Amazon ahead of anti-competition hearings that they're having later this year, hearings to discuss how they should be enforcing competition and an antitrust law. And following this strong earnings announcement, I mean, the power of Amazon is going to continue to be questioned in Washington.
Do you agree, Mark? I mean, can a case really be brought against Amazon from an antitrust basis?
Well, all the indications and the folks that have looked at this situation, myself included, have reached the inevitable conclusion that the answer is no. And it's a combination of the way that the antitrust laws are designed, they're quite antiquated, and as well as how they're being enforced, particularly with respect to this particular administration's policies. So the short version is, I'm of the opinion this does not pose a significant risk to Amazon, and some of the portfolio managers I spoke to today in the hedge and the long-only world tend to agree from that anecdotal evidence.
Mark, clearly we've seen the EU act on anti-competition grounds on Google, specifically on their Android operating system. Whether or not that's specifically on Android for now, it could perhaps be in other areas in the future. Might the EU set a precedent that the US follows down the line? Interesting to hear Senator Warren this week sound along those lines.
Is there a risk that could happen? Yes, it's impossible to say that it isn't. But I think that situation is a completely different one from Amazon and its business model. Amazon has achieved this market dominance through data dominance. It's really about how they use the transaction data that flows through this massive platform that they've created, not to unfairly compete and put consumers in a bad spot, which is what the antitrust laws are designed to do, but to put their counterparties and other folks in the supply chain in a very difficult spot through some, frankly, rather predatory pricing techniques.
So just to be specific, I mean, every lawyer we have on and ask, does Amazon have any reason to worry about antitrust, says no. Why? Are you looking at the size of the online retail market? Are you looking at the size of the overall retail market? I mean, what is it that leads you so quickly to that conclusion?
Well, I mean, it's easy to look at those numbers and say, okay, Amazon's got 46% of the online retail market, but that still translates to roughly 4.5% of the retail market at large, right, online and other. But the reason I take that position is not about those numbers. It's about the antitrust laws and what they're designed to do. They're really designed to protect consumers.
Yeah.
And
consumers love low prices.
I mean, I don't know about you, Sarah, but when they increased the Prime membership a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think twice about it, nor did anybody else that I spoke to. So that's not the issue. They continue to have unwavering support from consumers and from the investor community as well, and I think that's going to continue.
Priya, what's your take about whether the political situation could force some kind of fuller investigation into Amazon, whether that would be Democrat success in the midterms or, getting closer to 2020?
Yeah, everyone's seen the president's tweets, but aside from that, a growing number of voices on the left have really been voicing concern about Amazon's size and its power. And what they're looking at is not just, the company's size and power, but do portions of the business like Amazon Web Services or the ability to charge membership fees allow Amazon to essentially cross-subsidize its retail business and offer these lower prices, giving it an advantage that perhaps competitors might not have. There are voices on the left in Congress right now, including Ro Khanna, who represents portions of Silicon Valley, who say that's worth studying. And these voices could really grow louder if the Democrats retake Congress in the midterms.